This world shall know pain. Almighty
Yes. We are back. We are back. We got a
that shit
reaction
about you.
video for y'all. You said what?
I said, clear that shit up out you.
Yeah. You know, you got to get that shit out, man. I was hoping that that part of the shit was gonna be edited out, but thanks for bringing it up, though.
Oh, man.
Hey. Run it back. Let's just run it back. Let's run
I
it
was
back.
hoping Jordan just got to start after I cleared my throat.
Nah, keep it in.
I was gonna do it because last time we did one of these YouTube videos, I did it, but I was just like, shit. Pooch got it.
Nah, it's cool. Nah,
Right.
you keep this shit in, though, man. It's authentic, bro. Keep it in. Whatever. Fuck it. We got a Spider-Man reaction video. No Way Home. I got my people with me. Trey, Jordan, and Ashley. How we doing tonight, y'all?
Fan-fucking-tabulous.
I feel like I ain't seen y'all all week, man.
Well, I tell
This is that
you.
bullshit you did last time, bitch.
Hey, speaking of that, real quick, this nigga, we had to restart that joint like 5 or 6 times because he kept laughing about that. Because we recorded so much content that night. And I was like, damn, bro, I ain't seen you all week after like the 7th video. And this nigga just kept laughing. Just kept on having to redo that shit.
Y'all should have kept the laughs.
Yeah, he got it somewhere. I
We did
told him keep it for like
we did keep
bloopers.
the laughs, yeah. Start
But
over,
Spider-Man.
man.
No. Keep it in. Keep it. It's cool.
All right.
You can just add this at like the end as bloopers. Like
Cool,
cut
cool.
it. Yeah. Spider-Man: No Way Home, man. What did y'all think about this movie? Thumbs down.
I for one thought it was fantastic. It was a fantastic movie.
This was a beautiful fucking movie, bro. Like the storyline, everything was just. It was great, man.
The storyline was better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I was wondering how they was gonna do that. Wait, hold on. Spoiler alert! If you ain't seen the movie by the time this video dropped, do not watch this video. Clearly,
If you ain't seen the movie by the time this video dropped, then like, what are you on? Because at that point, it'll have been out for like a week.
Right.
I don't want to hear nothing about no spoilers.
Niggas tripping.
You got in this world, you got 24 to 48 hours to figure some shit out after something big come out, or it's guaranteed spoilers. Especially if you have like a heavy fan following or fan base or whatever, or followers. That was the word.
That's just the way the world works now, man. Like you can't get mad at spoilers.
People who get mad about spoilers annoy the fuck out of me. Shut up. Like, go watch it. We all got jobs.
If you got time to get up here tweet about how mad you are, you got time to go watch the shit.
You got time to watch it. Like, stop fucking playing.
But yeah, this movie,
you gotta watch it in theaters. You can watch it on,
Yeah, it's different ways to access that joint. We don't condone illegal activity, but we do enjoy it.
I'm just telling you,
And that's on period.
Word.
Utilizing your time wisely.
But yeah, man, getting to the movie, man. It started off exactly from where it left off in Far From Home, which is extremely dope.
Mm-hmm.
James Jameson, the op, #1 op. This nigga,
#1 hater.
This nigga is the biggest hater.
He makes me so fucking mad. I don't know why this J. Jonah Jameson pisses me off more than the others. Like
he's a Republican.
Bro, hey,
annoying. Like the actor paints him so well.
And this nigga doing all of that shit from his home, bro. Like this nigga he's that committed to Down in Spider-Man that he set up a green screen in his home to record shit about Spider-Man.
Yeah,
this J. Jonah Jameson really reminds me of like Twitter niggas, like the kind who just really sit behind their iPhone and just trash people and got a huge following. Because if he not on no major movie network, then he just got to be streaming the shit and motherfuckers is watching it on their phones or like whatever, or a network is picking it up for when he goes on his big rants. It's like breaking news,
My thing is,
dude, Alex Jones, that conspiracy theorist dude. I think it's called InfoWars. He basically like that, but in the Marvel universe, though. That's
got a YouTube channel that's got 2 million views.
This man is literally talking trash about a teenager, and everybody seems like they fine with it.
Yeah,
right? Like Peter Parker is 17 years old, and you just going ham on him, and half the world is like, "Yeah, fuck you," like "fuck you, Peter Parker." Like,
it's crazy. it's crazy because technically this nigga like what 21 or 22.
Yeah,
He was gone for like
the
5
actor?
years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like he's not even in the high school no more. They had the GED book. He just studying to get his GED now. He had a GED book at the end of the movie. I was like, oh dang, that's where it went. All right, Tom. But yeah, you know, it starts off with him running, trying to hide, going down to the sewage or whatever.
With the spell, he would have been out of school, right? Like the school wouldn't remember that he was Peter Parker, so he couldn't graduate.
Yeah, nobody
Shit, I don't
remembers.
Yeah, nobody remembers him.
So that's why he had the GED book, right?
I mean,
he had to drop out
get down to the small specifics, but some stuff like that is like plot holes. You don't mind. Like, you don't.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like,
plot.
remember he had a whole mural built for him in high school.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like you just ignore that shit. It's like
But they like, who is this guy walking
it was
by?
like they said Spider-Man, instead of doing what he did, he should have just gone to Doctor Strange and was like, yo, I need everybody to forget about Mysterio and what he said, which I mean makes perfect sense, but
yeah.
That's what pissed me off. I really felt like Doctor Strange should have gave him options. Like, okay, well, like let him know, because afterwards, after the spell got fucked up, and he was like, "Oh, you didn't call? Like, you didn't call? Like, bro, why you ain't say that before you agreed to do this mind altering, numb, fucking defining
That's how
Strange?
Dr. Strange is. That's how he is, though. He expect you to at least know to exhaust your options before you come to him with some stuff like that. Because that's a big deal.
I get that, but he's a child.
I feel like Doctor Strange was a little off.
Also, a superhero who saved the universe, according to Doctor Strange. So that child stuff don't mean nothing
all the time.
It'll be nothing. He saved
all the time. Like I get that Spider-Man should have had, like the whatever to do it, but you a grown ass man, like, and you did a whole spell based off the word of a teenager.
I mean,
a teenager that helped save the universe. Yeah, right. He's an Avenger.
You got to realize
like his cortex still not developed.
I think Strange is a regular superhero in general.
That means nothing. He's still a child.
Doctor Strange. I don't even know if that was really Doctor Strange for real. Because like if you saw the trailer, you had the other evil Strange. Like obviously something was off with Doctor Strange. It's like in all the other previous movies, Endgame, Infinity War, the actual Doctor Strange movie, he was never that type of nigga who would do no shit like that for Peter. Like regardless if he was
always been reckless. Like Stephen Strange is a hubris. Like he
was reckless. He was reckless before he got to his accidents, obviously. But like that was a complete,
he had to get humbled by the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, he got humbled. So he ended up having to go through that whole awakening shit. And based off the nigga that we seen from that point on, it was like a complete like different type of person. And obviously I could be just reading into it too much, but he just seemed like way off in this movie.
You think he wanted the scroll niggas?
No, I don't know if he's a scroll nigga or not. I know that the trailer really threw me off because obviously there was the other like evil version of Doctor Strange that we saw at the end, and we heard Mordo say that that Strange is gonna be the greatest threat and all that shit. Yeah. So I just.
But you gotta go to the what if joint though. You gotta switch.
Yeah, I think that was the what if Doctor. I thought that was the what if Doctor Strange too.
Yeah, because the what if, when I found out that the what if episodes are a part of the MCU, I was like, oh, this is dope. This is really dope right here. So this, the what if really opened up the idea of the evil Doctor Strange. So it could be him. I've seen videos about it. Might be the evil one, but at the same time,
I was about to say like that shit is like I watched that what if episode in particular. Evil Doctor Strange is a motherfucking problem. Like, and it was one of those moments where like I'm glad he's not evil. Like I'm glad the normal
absorb every Pokemon in existence to get his power. This nigga's doing that shit for like for like a year or something. Like the days were just going by, he just absorbing shit. Strong as I don't know what. But and also when he casts his spell, he tells Peter, he was like, you maybe changed the spell 6 times. I went back and rewatched. I only counted 5 times. So I feel like that 6th time might have been him making it so he won't forget Peter Parker.
And you know, that might be something else again that was like a plot error that they just didn't mean to do.
I kind of think it's like if I had to think about it, I think it's Pooch's one that at the
end, like at the end, when he says bye to Spider-Man at the end, he's like, "See you around, kid." Shit. Like he's not like like by Spider-Man. Like, see you around, kid. Like he know he gonna see this nigga, but he know his life is gonna be fucked up. And I think that's what Venom is gonna come in. Because the symbiote is now the MCU. I feel like Venom is gonna attach to Spider-Man while he's going through all these dark changes in his life. And
So one thing I want to say just in general about the MCU Spider-Man, because we've seen the little Venom part, and so I doubt they're gonna bring Eddie Brock back over here.
Not Eddie.
So the only nigga I can think of that isn't like in the comics that gets Venom is Flash Gordon. If they use that nigga who Flash Gordon in the MCU, that's gonna piss me off so bad. That's like the lamest character. That nigga's like the lamest character, bro, ever.
That nigga was in the whole military in the comics. He was a badass in the comics, bro.
I'm talking about the nigga in
the movies, he goofy as shit. But yeah, like in the comics, this
he's
nigga,
not even a real
Agent
Zero. Like they're kind of friends. The fuck, like that doesn't even.
They're kind of friends.
Like you know what I mean? Like he called him for help. Like when he needed to talk to the MIT and he called Flash. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like this is your arch enemy in high school.
And yeah, that's what I don't get about the spell. Like these niggas was on the internet tweeting about Peter Parker. Like, does they just disappear? Like,
we don't question
what happens? What happens with all that shit?
That's just some shit you just don't question. You just roll with it.
No, but it's a lot of questions about that, bro. It's actually like I've been watching a lot of videos about like, what was that spell really doing?
Yeah,
but this nigga,
I learned to stop questioning logistics because
you just gotta stop questioning that shit. Like MJ had on the necklace that Peter gave her. Shit.
Yeah, this is Marvel though. Like Marvel always is up to something though. Like Marvel ain't doing this shit for no reason, bro. It's a reason why they're doing this, and niggas want to know why.
I guess I'm on the wait and see team instead of speculating.
I gotta be
lots
both.
of times Marvel be doing.
I'm a speculator. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, Act 2 in the movie. I feel like Sandman didn't have to be in this fucking movie at all.
He didn't.
Nah,
I feel like without Sandman,
for no reason.
The plot would have been the same.
Yeah, I feel like everything would have been exactly the same without Sandman. But like, what was his reason for even?
Well, I mean, he didn't save Peter with
but he didn't die. He never died. Dr. Strange said their fate is to die fighting Spider-Man. This nigga got locked up.
He didn't want to lose his
and asked to join the Sinister Six.
He wanted to go home. Like he was trying to get them to push the button. So at the end, he was like an op for a different reason because then everybody had switched to not wanting to go home.
But what was his reason?
He wanted to go home to his daughter.
Yeah, that's what was gonna happen to him. He waited.
I know, but then Peter didn't want to send them back until he fixed them, and by that point, he had already wanted to go home. So that's the reason
he could have just sat down and let shit play out.
He could have just sat down. Like that's what I'm saying. His character is stupid as fuck.
He had no real reason for any of that. Like this nigga turned up because the other niggas turned up.
Right.
Hey, bro, this nigga Doc Ock, bro, when Doc Ock got shocked out the window, he got ghost, bro. This nigga dipped.
He really dipped until the very last scene. I was like, what the fuck did he do? Like,
yeah, I'm like, yo, what happened to Doc Ock? Like this nigga was hopping away.
Can we take a moment to talk about Peter Parker's like naivety? Like, how the hell do you bring all these villains to your crib off the promise that you can save them, and you didn't think nothing was gonna go wrong? Like,
that's just his character.
You ain't think he didn't do no contingency planning at all.
That's great, right? Yeah, that's great writing though, because in the comics, Peter Parker is always fucking up on such a large scale that it just it's crazy. Like it fucks up everything.
And he's the type of person who wants to help people, so he wants to.
Yeah, like that's his character. Like that's great writing, but it's still stupid because, bro, like this nigga was about to fight multi-universes worth of bad guys.
Like everybody, he was really ready to blow up on him. Like,
yeah.
I mean, but if we talking about character development, the end of it, like I was proud of him. I was proud that he chose to save the people who loved him because he knew they was gonna ride for him till the wheels fell off.
Yeah, and when he got fed up with shit, and he told them niggas who like, yo, y'all gotta deal with this shit. I don't even care no more. Like, I'm gonna send y'all niggas home. You deal with it. If they die, they die. I don't even care no more. All that shit was Peter's fault, bro. This nigga got Aunt May killed.
Yeah, it was his fault. I mean, I know that was probably weighing heavy on him because, like, imagine getting your ass beat, and that's what calls for your closest person to die. Because, like, he had a chance to save him.
That is also like a note to every Spider-Man movie because Peter Parker is somewhat directly responsible for Uncle Ben dying in the first one when he let the dude run away. and then he went outside and shot his uncle because he was mad. I can't remember like the reason why he was mad at the bookie. The bookie kept his money. The dude robbed the bookie and then went outside and shot Uncle Ben. So and Peter felt guilty for that because he felt like it was his fault. And the same thing in the second one, right? And with Amazing Spider-Man, didn't he also let the dude run away and he shot Uncle Ben?
Yep.
I never watched it, so I don't know.
Is
that what happened? Okay, so yeah, I think that was just another note to him feeling responsible for letting somebody that he loved die, and that was also a bonding moment for the Spider-Mans when they was up on that roof.
Yeah, I appreciate them touching on that.
Okay, it was
for sure.
Yeah.
It
was a simple, like the movie was just so jam packed with like care. Like they took the time to like make everything connect, and that's rare and shit like that. Like the MCU does a great job of it, but they did like they were on a motherfucking A game with this movie and connecting.
I feel like it's the best Marvel movie that's came out so far.
Shit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
ever like
No Way Home.
From Iron Man 1 till now.
No Way Home is my
about
favorite
all that
right
one,
now.
buddy.
That's a stretch.
That's not a stretch. How's that a stretch?
I think it's the best in a long time.
So what's the best to you? Exactly.
I don't have like
you ain't even got one, but you call it mine a stretch. You call mine a stretch, but you ain't even got a favorite.
Many movies that made me feel more. Even watching it, I was like, I enjoyed Endgame more than this. I enjoyed every Avengers movie more than I enjoyed No Way Home.
Endgame not even the best one out.
I didn't say it was the best one. I'm just saying I personally enjoyed a lot more movies a lot more than I enjoyed this one.
Endgame was like 3 hours of 2 good hours of a good movie.
I said I enjoyed more. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I just watched Endgame the day before yesterday, man, and that shit is so overrated. It's a whole bunch of that time travel shit, just too boring, man. It's a whole bunch of nothing going on. There's a whole bunch of nothing.
No Way Home is not my favorite Marvel movie. I still have Winter Soldier as my favorite Marvel movie. It just was like really like a thriller type shit, so it really stick with me with that one. But No Way Home is really dope. It's probably in my top 5 of Marvel movies. This is my favorite.
I'm gonna say No Way Home or Infinity War. I still really fuss with Infinity War for the fact that the bad guy won. I really love that.
Yeah, Infinity War is also up there too.
I may need to watch Spider-Man No Way Home a few more times to really come to a conclusion. But I really think this shit might be my number one shit now. Because I really love how they blended all the Spider-Man too. You saw what?
I was about to say it's definitely not my number one, but I love the movie. Like I thought it was an amazing movie, but it's not like a best movie of all time for me for Marvel.
Yeah, you don't have one. That's right.
No, I really don't. I just go off the vibes. Like I either like it or I don't.
What you think, Trey? This nigga
hit the man, what? You gonna wait with Todd Spark up to ask me questions?
I don't know. I think it might be my top one.
I'm thinking so too. I love how like all the Peters still acted exactly how they acted like
in the
from
movies.
their universes, you know? Yeah, like it was cool because Toby was all like soft and apologetic, like like a pussy, but until Spider-Man come out. The other nigga, Garfield, he talked a lot. Like that's all this nigga did was talk in his fucking Amazing Spider-Man movies. Like he just talked so fucking much, and that's what he was doing.
I love that about him though. He got
I love it. Though, yeah, it's nothing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm loving how they was exactly.
They were true to character,
and they both were like OGs. Took time for a little bit. They shared their experiences. It kind of got in his head a little bit, just a little bit though, because he still tried to kill Green Goblin right after that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy had to like grab. I was like, my boy, he started off by talking about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and go goddamn try to impale Norman Osborn.
Man,
that nigga said fuck the cure. Like he didn't ask for it, he didn't call for it. He was just like, nah, bitch.
Endgame's your top.
Crazy.
We didn't really get to touch on it yet so far, but like. Each of the fight sequences, like the Doc Ock fight on the bridge, I really thought that was really the choreography was really dope for that fight with everything that was going on. I really like the Green Goblin fight, especially the first one, because they was throwing blows. It wasn't like even like web powers or anything. They was throwing hands. when Green Goblin dropped him through the floor and all that shit, and then like when
Power
Peter was
bomb,
punching him, yeah, Peter was punching him, and then they was just laughing at the shit.
Hey, yo, I just realized. Hey, I just realized
punching.
that. I just realized Peter power bombed this nigga back. That was personal. I didn't even think about that shit at first.
But he pulled a move from the PlayStation game though too. That's the move he pulled from this PlayStation game.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even realize that at first. I just know he power bombed the shit out of that nigga. I was like, damn, I know his back got to be smashed, bro. That's Spider-Man doing this shit, not the Undertaker. I know he's done for.
Well, man, say a spinal cord injury.
Yeah. And
Norman ain't young, you know.
Yeah, that nigga old as a bitch.
And he was taking them hits and throwing blows. So for Spider-Man villains, Green Goblin has always been my favorite. And I don't know if that's just nostalgia because it's the first one and the only one I've really ever watched over and over again. But every time I catch the other villains or even in this movie, he was still my favorite. Like he's just the most villainous.
He's the most gangster, yo.
Let
me tell you how gangster this nigga is right quick, yo. This nigga showed up to the fight when the odds were stacked against him. This nigga didn't jump out when the other villains were good, bro. He waited till them niggas got cured, and then he came out there. Like, I'm like, oh, now you want to join the fight, bro? You ain't got no backup no more, nigga. I'm like, yo, you gangster as fuck, bro.
He waited to turn into the Green Goblin when all the villains was on Peter Parker's side. Everything he do is gangster.
Gangster is shit. Hey, did y'all notice Peter Parker's his fucking Spidey sense? Did y'all see it?
The arrow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they only touched on it a little bit in Infinity War. That was the first time they introduced it. You know, when he seen.
No, I mean like in the comics and the cartoons where his Spidey sense kicks off, you see like a visual, like the lines. They showed the lines.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they showed the visual this time.
That's what it was. I like how they went more in depth with it in this.
Yeah, well, Doctor Strange. Oh yeah, actually, to answer your question, that's why his body was moving because of his Spidey sense.
His Spidey sense. Yep, I learned that.
Yeah, because
you saw it.
It was all wavy. But yeah, his Spidey sense.
The only way I'm ever gonna learn about like I've learned that YouTube videos are the way I'm gonna learn about the comics because I'm not gonna read them. But the YouTube videos, like the reactions, the responses, they have so much information. Like I just be getting mind fucks on why stuff happens or filling in the gaps and shit like that. I'm like, y'all niggas got a lot of time on y'all hands because ain't no fucking way you watch Spider-Man once.
You should look up
point out 104 Easter eggs.
You should look up the comic historian, like where he pretty much read a comic to you. It's like an audio joint, but he has the visuals and all that cool shit too. I mean, it's like
I just want recaps.
His videos be like an hour too long. It's like a recap kind of. He don't read the whole thing to you. But I
thought it was like some Read It Rainbow type shit, my nigga. I was like, I don't want to watch that at all.
Nah, but
reading comics to me. But now I'm gonna check it out.
How'd y'all feel about the way that they handled the reveal, like with other Peters and everything too?
Handle who?
I had they revealed other Peters coming into the universe. How'd y'all feel about that?
I thought the interaction with his grandmother was hilarious. Like the whole theater was cackling. Like she was just responding to them, just like a straight up Hispanic grandmother. Like she's like, "Can you clean that shit up? Like you shooting webs in my house and shit. Like clean it the fuck up." That was funny as fuck to me.
That was a good scene.
That shit was hilarious. Like, hey, nigga, like then like she was like she would say English sometimes. Like,
I'm going to bed.
What she wanted niggas to do, like she won't say it in English, but then when she responded, she said that shit in English. That shit was funny.
So he's like, I'm going to bed.
And this nigga Ned has magical powers. I'm wondering if and he put the cape on.
Right. Yeah, so Ned is the Hobgoblin in the comics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So why the hell are he doing this shit?
I don't know, man. I was like, what? They just freestyle
the Hobgoblin. Like
they throwing everything in there.
I thought it was because he mentioned, he was like, my abuela says my family has magic in us, but I don't know how to use it, and then ends up using magic. Like I was like, y'all
like looking through the fridge, like they had like live animals and like shit jumping around up in that bitch. They had the swords on the wall, and like Dr. the magic throwing knives or whatever. Mm-hmm. Nah, the Ned crib, but he was talking about magic and shit in his family. And he had a bunch of like magical type shit going on in his crib.
Really? I thought that he was in the Undercave.
I thought that was Dr. Strange's
that's where he was at.
Yeah, he
that
was
was
at Dr. Strange's
Oh,
crib
okay.
when all that shit was on the walls.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was at his
Nah,
grandmother.
his house was the apartment with his grandmother in it.
Mm-hmm.
They was at his house when they was when the Peter Parker showed up. They were at his house, but before that, they were in the cave where the villains were being kept.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But they executed the movie in general pretty well. Because it's a lot of stuff that they got on their plate when they trying to handle multiverse and 5 different villains and all that shit that was going on. I think they really did a good job of bringing it together.
I said they did the best they could. I couldn't ask for much more. Like I couldn't ask for like anything different. I wouldn't change a thing about it.
No, I could have asked for something more. They could have added one more nigga and finally had the Sinister Six. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Trey, didn't you say that's where you think it's gonna go? The Sinister Six?
Yes. Because I'm interested to see how Morbius plays out.
Yeah. Did y'all see that Jared Leto is Morbius?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he's gonna play the fuck out that role.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to see that movie. But I'm excited to see them come in. I'm excited for Venom to pop up for real.
It's going to be in Morbius too.
You said Tyrese?
No, Vulture.
Oh,
where the fuck you get Tyrese from?
Right, what in the movie? Tyrese is in the movie.
Tyrese.
No, he's in the movie. And I didn't hear what you said. And I'm like,
oh yeah. Tyrese is in the movie. He's the
said that.
Yeah,
that's what I thought you said.
Interesting that Vulture is in Morbius. So.
Yeah, I feel like
I wonder if it's actually
Spider-Man,
Vulture, if it's just the actor who plays Vulture in the movie. Did they actually specify if it was actually Vulture or not in the trailer or not?
No.
I don't know why Michael Keaton would be in a Marvel movie and not be Vulture.
Exactly.
I mean, shit, he gonna be in DC movie playing Batman. So I mean,
DC ain't got shit to do with Marvel, bro.
he be doing.
They're not doing that shit in his universe.
He gotta be Vulture. It wouldn't make sense if he wasn't.
Right? Yeah, like they're not doing that weird shit in his universe, dog.
Not shit. You never know. What's his name? In the what's it called? Luke Cage series. You know the old lady. She was the old lady who Tony talked to in Civil War. So I mean, shit. They be having different people play different people sometimes. I don't know.
Did she play the same part?
Nah, completely different person.
Oh, that's before that's before they started this fucking multiverse shit though.
Yeah. Cottonmouth, it was the lady who was rolling with him. I think it was like his associate or something. I can't remember if it was his sister.
One of his sister? It was his sister, wasn't it?
Yeah, she played somebody else. You remember when Tony was in Civil War and he was talking to this lady who?
Oh yeah, you're right. Before he got into the elevator. Yeah, that's right. She gave him a picture. It was like something about her son died because of him.
Don't nobody really know that woman. We talking about Michael Keaton, bro. We know Michael Keaton is Vulture. Hey, I remember that woman from Luke Cage, bro. We know Michael Keaton is Vulture, bro.
If he is Vulture, I mean that's dope too. Imagine if some of the villains who was in Tom Holland's universe got sent back by accident. So maybe that could be where it goes. I don't know.
I feel like Spider-Man is gonna become Venom and beat the shit out the Sinister Six. Like I feel like he's gonna be very brutal when he's taking these niggas down.
I hope so.
Because he hurt. He done lost Aunt May. His friends don't know nobody know who he is.
He literally got to start over.
Yeah, like
it's the perfect time for Venom to attach, and the fact that the symbiote was just left on the bar after Eddie Brock disappeared.
It's gonna find Spider-Man.
That's what I'm looking for. It's got to. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be pissed off.
And then at the end of the last Venom movie, when he was about to show Eddie Brock the Hive fucking secrets, that nigga said what he say, like 85 billion light years of Hive knowledge across universes. So this nigga Venom knows Peter Parker in some type of universe out there. A lot of people was asking. Yeah, a lot of people was asking, like, if bad guys who knew who Peter Parker was came to this universe, then why would Venom come to this universe? It's because of the Hive knowledge from the symbiote. Because the Hive knowledge spread throughout billions of light years of universes, which is a lot. I'm guessing. I don't even know how to calculate that shit.
Yeah. So Trey, you said it's gonna go Sinister Six. I'm gonna ask y'all two also. What route do y'all think Spider-Man 4 is gonna go?
I was thinking that it was gonna do Venom. I was thinking Spider-Man 4 was gonna be similar to Spider-Man 3, where he became Dark Spider-Man or whatever.
Absolutely.
I can't think of it going any other way.
It's a perfect time for him to become Venom.
Venom is popping right now, just the series itself. The end credit scene was a symbiote on the bar. Like, to me, it just makes no sense for it to go nowhere else.
If anything, I feel like Flash Gordon might become Venom.
I'd hate that. I'd really walk out the theater.
He was Venom in the comics, like I said, like Agent. But
he was a badass in the comics. This Flash is trash.
They can't do the Agent Zero.
He ain't gone to the military yet and gone through trauma yet.
He got accepted to MIT.
I think it's going to be a little mix of like Venom and also throw in Kraven. I feel like what's going to happen, it's going to play out where Peter going to get the symbiote. He going to wild out as like Venom, and at the same time, somebody going to bring like Jonah Jameson going to bring Kraven over there to do his thing. And like in the middle of it, Peter going to let go of the suit, but Kraven going to still be after that nigga. And like the symbiote going to attach to another person who's going to become Venom, and then they're going to both have to team up to take on whoever that is. Because I don't know if you peep, but in the clouds,
who's going to become that Venom though? It got to be a badass though, man. It's like who?
Yeah,
that's a question.
I don't know if you all peep, but there was like different Spider-Man character villains in the cloud portal thing. Like there was Kraven, it was
Rhino.
What's it called? What's Madam Spider? Madam Web. I mean Rhino.
Scorpion.
Scorpion. There was a lot of people up there.
Yeah.
I thought that shit was cool too. I thought the visuals for that were amazing. Like when the universe was opening up and they were coming through and how you just like saw their silhouettes. Like that shit was just dope to me. I think I don't know, just everything about this movie was a masterpiece.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love how Peter, how Toby's Peter and Doc Ock said the exact same thing they said to each other in the Spider-Man movie. I think that was dope. When he was like, "How you doing?"
He was like, sun in his hands too.
Yeah. He said that shit too. He was like, "How you doing?" He was like, "Trying to be better." That's exactly what he said in the first movie.
But y'all, what do you think is gonna happen with I don't know if this is covered in the comic book, so y'all might have a concrete answer to my question. But when they go back home and they're cured, do they just go back to living their regular, lame ass lives, or do they become villains again?
So that's a movie thing, and they're probably just going to die.
They're just going to branch. They're just going to branch off into a universe that's never going to be spoken about again.
Yeah, it's nothing for us to worry about.
The universe. That universe is different now. So
they're honestly probably going to die though.
Because they always talk about changing time and what that does, and the whole time they were talking about curing these niggas and sending them home. I'm like, you're literally changing their timelines. So,
but they still the same nigga,
it'll just branch. Yeah, they just branch off to some other shit. Like
basically, I took
the
it
first
as
Sorcerer Supreme before Doctor Strange. She was explaining that shit to the Hulk in Endgame about how the timelines work.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was gonna be basically they was gonna be healed and then just go back to their timeline, where they were right before they died. And I was like, I don't know how that really helped these niggas, but shit. I mean,
right? Because I ain't got no powers. But
they just gonna get smoked by Spider-Man.
If they fight in Spider-Man and they that the moment changes to Spider-Man, then they're perfectly normal. He's gonna spare them.
Doc Ock is gonna die anyway.
Yeah,
Doc Ock don't got a choice.
Yeah, he's gonna die anyway because he still got to stop that shit. He's gonna sacrifice himself anyway because right before he died was when he was talking to Peter. Right? Yeah. Right when he found out Peter was Peter.
That's when and then he decided to sacrifice himself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was just curious. That was shit kept bugging me. As soon as he decided to fix them and send them home, it bugged me for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, if them niggas do find a way to survive without the powers, then it's just gonna branch off to some happy ending, I'm sure, until the next bad guy pop up.
Say less.
Yeah, I want to see Black Cat. I want to see Kraven, Venom, all in the next movie.
Black Cat. And her name Felicia. And Felicia.
Let that be a love triangle or some shit between him and MJ. That's what we need right there.
Yeah, we need Felicia. I know they gotta squeeze in a bad Felicia joke for sure.
They always do some corny ass shit like that.
Right. Always. But yeah, what y'all rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10?
I give it a 10.
Absolutely. I get that shit a 10 too.
I
My
really
only flaw is that fucking Sandman didn't have to be in that shit. He served no purpose that I saw that was important or meaningful.
He wasn't even the main villain of Spider-Man 3 either. So, like, I guess, I mean, because you had Venom and then also Harry Osborn. I guess they didn't want to bring on James Franco because what he got going on, and I guess
I was about to say why they didn't recast Harry Osborn and because that would have been fun for me when because Norman even mentioned his son, like he mentioned his son and then he cracked up, like somebody I can't remember what they asked him. He was like, my son, and he cracked up. I was like, that would have been
He said his house is. He said somebody lives in his house. He said Oscorp doesn't exist. He's like my son, and then he just cracked
up. So does he know? Because he died before all that shit happened with his son. So does he know about his son? Like what happened to him?
No, yeah, because you could tell from what they were talking about.
I feel like instead of Sandman, they definitely should have brought Harry Osborn back, and that would have even been a no for when they was talking about like when Ned was like, "I promise I won't become a villain and kill you." Mm-hmm. And I don't know if they said that on purpose because eventually they are gonna make him the Hobgoblin in this series.
That's what I was thinking about.
So, dope ass theory I saw, what's pinned this together. I don't know if I sent this to you all, but basically they were saying that in the Amazing Spider-Man world, basically what happened was Peter ended up having to kill that Green Goblin that was in his universe, Harry Osborn. Mm-hmm. And that's where he was talking about he stopped pulling his punches. And so basically what the guy was saying was like after Gwen Stacy died, Peter went and killed Green Goblin and basically caused him to go through that depression and shit that he went on. And so I think that probably makes sense on why that Green Goblin didn't exist. But yeah, I thought that was a dope ass theory to say why all that happened though.
Yeah.
And then the other Green Goblin got his own issues. Like James Franco got his own issues.
Yeah.
But
I know he probably couldn't come back right now. Ain't he like under investigation for some sexual shit?
Yeah, he got something else going on. So I get why he wasn't in it. And I guess they didn't want to recast anybody because it wouldn't be the same. Like it's just a waste of time to recast somebody versus actually having the original person in the first place.
Yeah, since they brought back all the other original niggas, Yeah, that would
I get it.
Crazy.
So we were deprived of that moment because James Franco want to be out here being a fuckboy. So fuck you, James Franco.
Yeah, fuck James Franco. That nigga. That's what we gotta say.
I feel like if he wasn't in trouble, then it would have happened. Like they would have brought him back, no problem.
Yeah.
And then we could have got our Sinister Six, man.
Yeah, but that would have been a weird Sinister Six. Like, okay, we got two Green Goblins. Like, okay, that's overkill.
Yeah.
His Green Goblin is a menace. I mean, Harry's Green Goblin isn't as much of a menace. He's kind of a bitch to me, but
that nigga told Peter, "You killed her, not me." All right, bro. You kind of threw the grenade. I mean, I get that Peter brought you here, but like, you definitely tossed that grenade in there, my boy.
Yeah. So my favorite moment of the movie was because like I said, I haven't watched Amazing Spider-Man, but I did see the scene where he tried to save Gwen Stacy and her head bounced off the pavement. So when he saved that Peter's MJ and was like holding her in his arms and like he started crying, I cried with him.
That was my favorite moment too. Yeah, that
was my favorite moment of the whole movie. I was like, that redemption for him because he mentioned it as being the moment that changed him. Mm-hmm. Like, and then it happened for him. I'm about to cry now. Just think about it, y'all. That shit was.
It's crazy because like this nigga did that shit so perfectly. So he was probably in Queens throwing bitches off the fucking roof,
just to catch him,
practicing the shit. Like he had to jump perfect. He knew where to throw the spider web this time. Like it was just
that shit was great.
He was just tossing bitches off the roof. That's crazy. Garfield,
how many bitches were sacrificed to save MJ? Let's think about it.
One other thing, before
no bitches were harmed in the making
of this.
One other thing before we do wrap up. So we got them all on the screen. We got 3 movies from Tom Holland, 2 movies from Andrew Garfield, and 3 movies from Tobey. I guess who was y'all's favorite Spider-Man with everything that's gone through, basically with everything we've seen? So Tobey, Andrew Garfield, or Holland?
we finally got Tom Holland Spider-Man's origin story, and that is my favorite one. This is my favorite origin story. This nigga started off doing little petty shit in the city until he got recruited by Iron Man to go fight for the universe. Then after that, he had his own movie start. Like he was in Civil War, Infinity. Like this nigga went through a lot, bro. And he was fucking what, 15 when he started this. And
he wasn't my favorite before this movie, though. I'll be honest, he wasn't, because I feel like he was just Iron Man Jr.
This movie solidified him for sure.
He's always been my favorite. Well, since he came out, since I first saw him in Civil War,
he was my favorite.
My favorite Spider-Man, because I just feel like he played Peter Parker so well. Like the Peter Parker I love is the animated Peter Parker, the like funny, jokey kind of.
That's all of them though.
They are, but they're not like. I feel like I've seen a few clips, but like just the way he played Peter Parker to me was the most realistic for who I feel like the Peter Parker character is. So that's why Tom Holland has always been my favorite. I like the other ones. Well, I don't know Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man because I still haven't watched his movies. But Tobey was the only Spider-Man I really cared about. And when I seen Tom Holland, every time he popped up, he was my favorite. This one,
they actually like. All the personalities of Spider-Man actually do exist in the comics, and I think that's the dopest part about it.
Because there are multiple Spider-Man. There's different age ranges of all that shit.
Yeah. So like, I feel
but they always show him as a high school student in the movies, right?
Not always, no. Like in Spider-Man, in the first Spider-Man trilogy, he was in high school for like the first couple minutes, but then he was like a graduate student for everything after that. And like in the comics, we see Spider-Man go up to having.
So he was in college, and then Andrew. Okay, yeah, you're right. This is the first one where he's been in high school this long.
Yeah, but why I didn't really like Tom Holland before this movie was because he was just like too reliant on like Tony Stark in general, and like part of Spider-Man's whole gig is like him being like an individual nigga who go out and get shit done himself.
True.
It didn't fit him. Like he didn't even build his own suit until like the end of this movie.
Yeah. What they did with
that whack ass suit.
They took the Spider-Man from the cartoons and shit that was working with the Avengers and put that Spider-Man into this young boy in high school, which didn't really mix. It didn't really mix too well.
Yeah.
Because like when he started working with the Avengers, he was really reliant on fucking Tony Stark like a lot. But
and that's what I thought this movie was.
They mixed it with the young boy, like when he was first starting out. He didn't first.
I definitely think this movie as his breakaway, because Tony just died. Well, not just died, but he's healed from Tony dying. It was a great breakaway movie from that energy, that being reliant on Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Because even
now he went to the comic book colors at the end with the suit.
Yeah, that suit was fresh too. Like that was a really dope suit.
First time you about to see this nigga in the comic book colors, bro. That's about to be really dope.
Yeah, I can't wait until the next movie. I know it's gonna probably be a little while, probably like 2024, 2025 or some shit. But I can't wait for it, man.
Oh yeah.
But Pooch, let the people know where they can find us at, bro.
You can find us on thesenuts.com, niggas. Nah. Follow us on IG at Animaniac Pod, Twitter, same thing. Pretty soon, I'm gonna put us on theblacktube.com. Theblacktube.com. Make sure y'all put when y'all search this website.
Please don't just put Blacktube. I mean, do if you want, but just know it's not gonna be what we talking about.
Shit, maybe what you want to find though.
Straight up.
Be up there. YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcasts. Check us out, man. We up there. You can damn near Google us, man. We almost there.
We are there. If you Google us, we pop up.
We are there.
Yeah.
We are there. We are Google.
Last time I did it, we want the number one option last time, but it was a while ago. So I ain't did it in a while though. But yeah, you can Google us, man. You're fucking out here, kids.
You know you legit when they can find you on Google.
Word.
Oh, yeah.
Word.
Bars, cuz.
Cool.
Shit. But that's right. But anyway, that's everything. So Animaniacs, we are out. Cut the tape.